Audra.
And I'm Megan.
And we are back this week with more arts and crafts. This time we are talking about Eastern Europe. Have you been to Eastern Europe?
I am not. It seems like it's far, far away though.
It is far away. It was a very long flight. I went one time to Romania, and so that's why I'm so excited about our activity today.
All right.
Because it was one of my favorite things that I found when I was in Romania.
How fun. So this is something you saw while you were there.
It really is. And I brought several of them home.
Ooh.
So I'm excited to recreate them now. So we are going to do an activity called Painted Eggs. And this is, I brought notes today, Megan.
All right. Oh, good.
I didn't trust my memory to memorize it all.
Yes.
But the painted eggs in Romania really began around Easter, and for them it is part of their religious celebrations.
Okay.
But it has just kind of grown and is one of the most colorful, artistic parts of their religious celebration.
That's exciting.
So it really kind of started like Easter eggs. But what I found when I was there, it wasn't Easter time. They were everywhere. And in all different sizes. Some were like regular egg shape, egg size. Some were bigger, almost like, I don't know.
Like a dinosaur egg?
Well, that's what I was thinking too. Maybe not as big as a dinosaur egg. Maybe there were some of them.
Yeah.
But, you know, like that size, kind of an egg. And they were just beautiful. The artwork that is done on them is very intricate, very delicate, and some not as much, but.
Did they have like themes or what kind of, was it just designed?
A lot of it was, and that was one thing that was, I don't know if you can see some of these pictures.
Ooh.
You can see that there are lots of lines and a few pictures on them.
Mm-hmm.
More, what do they call it? Symbols.
Colorful.
They are very colorful.
Yeah, but I do see some symbols like that right there.
Yes, some symbols. That looks like kind of like a flower,
It does, yeah.
a leaf,
Yes.
limb.
Yes.
This started out really as women were the painters of these eggs, and it was really reserved only for women in the very beginning. But now everybody gets to be a part of that. There was the decorative motifs that are on there are very diverse. They mix symbols like the cross or a star, animal representation, and then just other traditional elements. But what I thought was interesting was, like for this one, they're red and gold and black and white. And the 3 or 4 colors that are used, each has its meaning. Red symbolizes the love and solar light. Black meant eternity, and yellow was about youth and rich crops. And green related to nature, and blue to health and sunny skies.
Oh, wow.
So a lot went into the decorating of them and what colors that they used. And if I can find that one part too, it even said like straight lines meant one thing, curved lines meant something else. So not only were the colors, but the artwork that was put on them.
That's very cool.
What I brought home with me was made into Christmas ornaments. So I brought my kids home some and myself, and so now we have an Easter egg, or an egg, that's an ornament on our tree.
Wow.
From Romania.
That's very cool.
Just because they were so widespread, you found them everywhere in the markets and shops.
I feel like it goes back to the idea that this artwork tells a story with its colors and its symbols or the designs that are on there.
And we have found that in many other countries, right?
Yeah.
the foil art projects that we've seen. We've had some campers show their artwork on the Instagram account, and we love getting to see them.
Yes, you should definitely take a picture of your artwork and share it on the Instagram. That's the Happy Camper at Home. And if you haven't done that, you'll have to search it. It is a private group, so you just tell them in the message what camp you usually go to, and then you'll get accepted to that group, and you'll get to see other kids' artwork. And they put other stuff up there too, pictures and videos and all kinds of stuff.
And the TikTok Tuesdays?
Yeah, TikTok Tuesdays, don't want to miss
Those
that.
are on there.
Yeah, so that's a great way for you to share your projects back to us.
And we love getting to see them.
We do. We love
So shout out at this time, we're going to do a shout out to Elizabeth.
it.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
And to Olivia. I've seen some of her artwork.
Ooh, hi,
She
Olivia.
she is sleeping on her pillowcase, I hear,
Ooh.
and loving it.
Yes.
So we love to hear that, and we know that y'all are enjoying the arts and crafts too.
Yes.
So for this project today, in your box, you should have an egg.
Woohoo. An egg.
Now, obviously, they remind me of like ping pong ball material, so they're not going to break. But you should have an egg and a strip of paints
All right.
and some paint brushes. You'll need to get you a cup with some water and probably a paper towel just to kind of wipe your brush off on.
Yeah. The one thing I would say about these paint strips is that sometimes they can be a little bit tricky to open. What you want to do is you want to hold the bottom part and then pull the lid open.
That way.
And as you can tell, it's a little bit hard because I just got paint on my finger.
Yeah.
So you may want to ask an adult, a friend who's older than you, to help you if you have trouble with it. Because the tricky part is that once you get it open, you don't want to spill your paints.
Yes.
And I have definitely done that with these paint strips before, where I've like trying to pull it open and
they pop out.
and there the paint goes.
Paint goes everywhere.
Yes, it looks like you're definitely doing it more expertly.
Well, I don't know about that, but I'm trying to be careful not get paint everywhere.
Yes.
So we're just going to share today, Megan. Is that all right with you if we
That
share?
is all right with me.
And there's some paint brushes for us.
All right.
You have one or two paint brushes in your box, so you can use those. A couple of things that you can do. If you want your egg to be a solid color first as your base, you need to paint that, let it dry, and then you can go back and put your design on there. Or if you want it just white, you can just start putting your design on.
Okay.
Now, what we saw was very, very detailed, very small things, but one of my favorite ones that I brought home that is one of our ornaments really has like a stripe around it with some designs just at the top and the bottom. So it's very simple. It doesn't have to be that. It can be what you want it to be. You can do some of the colors that represent things that you want to represent, some of the lines or motifs that you want, or you can just totally make it your own.
Now, I noticed one of the symbols that I saw on there. I'm going to go for blue because blue is my favorite color.
There you go.
But one of the symbols that I saw, it's not exactly the one in the picture, but it was called a fleur de lis.
Oh,
And
yes.
It is sort of more famous, I would say, in the Louisiana culture or in the...
So that would be French though, right?
Yeah, I think it is French. But because that seems like a design that I might be able to mimic, I think I'm going to try it.
There's a lot on here that are dots, and so they make a lot of their, I don't know, have you ever seen all that dot artwork?
I have it.
Beautiful.
Yes.
A friend of mine does it. And so they use a lot of the dot artwork too, so you could just do your design out of dots.
Very cool.
I am going to see if I can't make a stripe. Oh, I guess my stripe's going to go right there because that's where my paintbrush hit.
I bet if you make a little bit of a mistake, there might be an easy way to fix it. Especially if you do it right at the beginning before you have anything else.
Yeah.
You might be able just to wipe it off.
You just incorporate it into your design.
That's true too. I'm thinking what paper towel might fix it.
Well, that's true.
Let's see.
So a lot of times these are displayed on, I don't know if you've ever seen them there. It's like an egg holder.
Okay. Oh.
We use them sometimes when we're decorating our Easter eggs, and it's a little stand that the egg sits on. The one that I brought my mom back from Romania, she got one of those little egg stands for it because it is one of the really intricate ones.
Ooh, sounds fancy.
That would have been a great thought to bring them for show and tell, so you could have actually seen some of them.
So how far is the flight from here in Texas to Romania? I'm guessing that you probably had to fly out of New York or something.
Yes, we did fly out of New York, so it's a long flight to New York.
Only a couple hours to New York.
Yeah, I think it's actually a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
And then we had a layover. I want to say it's like 3 hours to New York, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I figured it was up 2.5 at least.
And then we laid over, and then we left. It was almost a little bit like time travel because on our way back, we left, but then when we got back to Texas, it was like you'd lost a day. Like you were at I remember getting home and going to my family that wanted to get to see me. I was like, it's time for bed. I wanted to go to bed.
Yeah.
I was so sleepy.
There's probably quite a bit of a time change.
There is. I want to say that it was like 13 hours, 14-hour flight.
Wow.
Over.
Yeah, that's quite a flight.
So we slept. I mean, we left at night, so we slept as much as you can sleep on a plane. Are you a sleeper on a plane?
No, not anymore. I used to be. I used to be able to sleep anywhere. And then I had children, and I don't know what happens, but sometimes when you have kids, your motherly instincts kick in. Yes. And ever since then, I've been a light sleeper.
I've never been one to sleep on a plane. So I really just cat-napped for 13 hours.
Yeah.
Like about the time I would doze off, I'd wake back up right quick.
Yeah. So what is it like in Romania? What? I'm sure that they speak a different language.
They do. They speak Romanian, and then a lot of them speak Hungarian.
Okay.
Because it's really pretty close to the border. In fact, we flew into Hungary. We didn't fly into Romania.
I see.
And Polish. They speak a lot of different languages, actually. Very, very fluently that they speak more languages than we do, I feel like.
Probably. I feel like most cultures encourage their children to learn several languages.
And they do that for sure. We were going as part of our Child Life group from here, from Cook Children's, and we were going to help their Child Life. They were beginning a Child Life program over there, and so we were doing some trainings for them, and we went to the hospital over there, their children's hospital.
I bet their hospital was a lot different.
Very, very different. Very different. We are extremely lucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the food like?
I wouldn't say I'm a picky eater. I'm a cautious eater. I like to try things, but I don't want to try everything. One of their specialties or their delicacies was pig brain.
Oh, wow.
I did not try it. I passed on that one.
Yes. Well, when it's normal in your culture, you think nothing of it, but that is
Right.
not something we usually eat
It
here.
is not. So I didn't eat that. It was very nice. Some of the ladies, like when we first got there, we went and had gone to church, and they split us all up into groups, and we went to families' homes to have lunch with them and dessert, and it was maybe just dessert, but we got to go to some homes from some different families and just be with them in their culture, and it was so cool. And they have great desserts.
Oh, what was your favorite dessert?
I think one of their favorites to fix, and we have it here sometimes, is tiramisu.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
But oh my gosh, it was delicious.
I did not realize that was, I thought that the times that I have had tiramisu, I've almost always been at an Italian restaurant. So that's interesting that it's also Romanian.
Their children's hospital, they had a very nice playground that was adaptive for all needs, which I thought was a very nice thing. Their rooms in their hospital, compared to ours, was very sparse. Not a lot of fluff.
Yeah.
Not a lot of those extras that we think are just like everybody has them. We would assume them, but they really don't.
Is their hospital large like ours or smaller?
It wasn't. It's smaller than ours, but I remember being a pretty large building.
Oh, it's really cute.
Your fleur de lis turned out well.
One of them, I think, looks a little like an ear of corn, but sometimes that happens.
Yeah, it does.
We were talking on CLZ how different colors represent different things, and one of the things that it said about green, which I think is the same as what that paper said, is that green represents nature.
Yes.
And so I think it's interesting how sometimes those color meanings are cross-cultural.
I wonder if it has to do with like trees are pretty universal.
Yeah.
You know, we all.
I would think maybe you're right that we sometimes have that same human experience regardless of what culture we grow up in.
Right. I think it's a good reminder of how we are all connected
I think so too.
in this universe, even though.
Uh-oh. I
even
lost
though
my
it's-
egg, guys. It escaped. But I
It did
can't
sound
get it
like ping
again.
pong ball
It did.
bouncing.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think you're right. I think there's something about the shared human experience that we're more different, or we're more alike than we are different.
Yeah, and we really sometimes I think about more like how different we are when really we are more alike.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna use the other end of my paintbrush
Oh, nice. Good idea.
to see if I can do some of those dots,
Good tip.
and it works.
Yeah. The other thing is that if you like colors that you maybe didn't get in your paint strip. You know that you can always combine colors to try to make new ones.
Yes.
Because I noticed that we don't have purple, and that's really easy to make by mixing your red and your green.
Red and green.
Just joking. I just said the wrong.
We need to take Megan back to science class.
Yes, you do. It's because I'm painting with green instead of concentrating on what I was saying. Red, I looked over and saw the red and the blue and thought I could make purple with that, but then I was painting with green, so the word green popped out of my mouth. Yes, so you could easily make purple with the red and the blue.
There we go.
Red and green, if you mix those two together, you're going to get brown. So,
Could also make some orange with the red and the yellow.
Yep. That is true. So,
All right. I need my space to hold this wet. One of those egg holder things would be handy now just to paint.
yeah,
But you're getting the idea.
I think so.
Oh, you were smart. You used the one side of yours
Childlike zone.
instead of... And then you can let that side dry
Yes.
and then turn it over.
Yeah, that's what I was sort of thinking.
Good. Well, I'm going to keep painting a little bit more on mine.
Okay.
You can keep painting yours. Take your time. If you need to let layers dry in between, you can do that and then go back over them. That works too. So I hope you enjoyed painting your Romanian egg, and we will see you next time in Arts and Crafts.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.